Hello, everyone. My name is David Portillo, and today we're going to talk about something that is involved in all our lives, and it's very important. So, have you ever and you felt as if you liked them? It was great in just a few seconds of meeting them. Well, that happens because of first impression. We're going to talk about first impression, how they're formed, the factors that influence them and make them up, and why they matter. So, to start, first, how they happen. Well, they happen very quickly, super quickly. As a matter of fact, people begin forming opinions about each other because of these first impressions super quickly. The moment that you see me, you already decide the type of person that I am, or whatever prototype fits in your head. So I would like to watch a video in order to demonstrate there as a source. So let me present that real quick. And hope it is visible, and I hope I am visible too. So let's see this.
You. So how does that happen, and how much time do you have to make an impression before someone judges you? Well, the answer is it happens unconsciously, and you have almost no time at all. See, humans are basically pattern recognition machines, and whether you realize it or not, your brain is constantly filing information away for instantaneous recall. It's an evolutionary thing. It's kind of a survival skill, like, oh, those make an impression before someone means, and whether you, it's an evolutionary thing. It's kind of a survival skill, like, oh, those berries look like the berries that made me sick. That animal looks like the animal that bit the guy in my tribe. So it's useful if you're in the wild, for sure. But it's also useful today. Meet somebody and your brain goes right into that same pattern recognition mode. You're taking and running against the people you've interacted with ever without.
Exactly. So that demonstrates, or that I guess prolongs, or is more the thesis that I'm telling you. So questions are very fast. And another thing, what makes up impression? Well, first impressions are made up of three main things. They're made up of many things, but they're made of these three main things. And one is your body language, how you move. Like if I were to use my hands and I appear timid, my head down, you can read that, and you read that as lower confidence. Now, if I were to smile, that's another thing. Facial expressions, uh, f- the second main concept that makes up first impressions. Smiles are sad. So facial expressions are very important, right? Of how your face appears. Now, another thing is appearance, how you dress. If I were to dress, I guess, more bummy or more casual today, I guess you would say this is not a very important presentation. But I decided to dress in, I guess, somewhat of a turtleneck, look a little good. Now, according to psychologist Albert, excuse me if I get this name wrong, Albert Mehrabian. In his article, he wrote a book, the art of nonverbal communication. The art of nonverbal communication. This is one of my favorites. Uh, this has a this explains a concept, and here Albert says that the most influential part of the effectiveness of communication is our non-verbal cues, like body language, your face. Now these things are the most important and significant thing when it comes to communication. So next time, maybe think of how you appear, think of how your body is moving, how close you are to them, how how big you make yourself seem or how small you make yourself seem. Now, third off, or the next point, why do first impressions matter? Well, first impressions are important because while they do begin in seconds, they affect how you treat people over time. And our beliefs on someone are formed during these few seconds. I'd like to show you a theory that or a concept I'll just call the Pygmalion effect. So, the Pygmalion effect. Now, this is something that happens throughout everybody's lives. And let me present the screen. Give me a moment. Now, I hope I am seen here. Now, the Pygmalion effect here, right, is a cycle because this is how it starts. Now, first, our first impressions, they make up our beliefs, which we see at the top about others, our beliefs about others. That influences our actions towards them. So, for example, if you were to see, let's say, a excuse me, but a drug addict on the sidewalk just laying there. Now, the way you see him affects your belief about him, and so now you see him and you believe, oh, he's a non-stable person, and so you decide to avoid him, and that's your action. Now, say he wasn't a drug addict, but he appeared a drug addict. Beliefs about himself are shaped through your actions, and creates this cycle because now he acts more like a drug addict, and that reinforces our own beliefs. And so that is how first impressions form, and that is how first impressions create a cycle of beliefs between two people. And so that is why, as we're nearing the end of this presentation, that is why it is important for us to take into effect or take into importance, into significance, the what it is to make a first impression, what they are. They're powerful when it comes to human interactions, and they form quick, but they last long, very long. And we see that through concepts like the Pygmalion effect. The next time you meet somebody new, just remember your first impression is already shaping how the interaction will go. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. My name is David Portillo. Until next time. Enough. Until next time.